One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the One-Foot Flipper. Today we're going to tell a Timmy story from eBay. Do you remember what a Timmy is? Timmy is young, excitable, very interested in things like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic cards, or there can be Timmys in other areas, but this is a true story of a real Timmy. Timmy first contacted me about a month ago wanting to make a bulk purchase of a certain Pokemon promo. Made him a listing and everything. Of course, did he buy it? No, he didn't buy it. He didn't buy it at all. Other people bought it, bought the bulk listing over and over again until it was gone. Timmy, however, didn't buy it. Then he started messaging me again a couple of days ago. Once again saying, did I sell all those? I forgot about them. What do you mean, Timmy? You messaged me every 30 seconds about them until I made the listing and then you fucking ghosted me. Wow, I cursed in the first minute. We're going to have to push that back. Anyway, where I'm going with this, he once again is wanting me to make special listings or make special deals. And I say, just put it all in the cart, Timmy, and hit the ask for invoice, and I will send you my offer on it all. Of course, has he done that? Not at all, but he goes asking, do you really only have 1 foot? I say, yeah. I do. You can watch my YouTube if you want to. Same name. Timmy says, interesting. Why? Do you like open packs with 1 foot? LOL. I guarantee there's a fetish for that, and you could make bank showing your stub. No offense, just economics. And I say, no, Timmy, my channel is mostly about how to have a successful eBay store. Timmy says, and it's not exactly a fulfilled niche. But I wasn't kidding you. Did you check into that, bro? Fetish niches pay a lot, and there are so many niches for everything. Wasn't kidding. Bro, business idea. We start our own adult site, like eBay for fetish selling. Or, we just use existing infrastructures like OnlyFans. That would save us a lot of startup costs. I've been researching using Instagram and OF content and then marketing to the specific demographics with sponsors that want targeted referrals. And he went on for several more messages after that. I had already stopped replying at that point. But yep, Timmy contacted me on eBay. Unable to follow through with even purchasing Pokemon cards, but he wants me to make an adult fetish website with him. Not sure what if I wanted to do that sort of thing, I'm not sure what Timmy would bring to the table even for it. Why would I need Timmy to do that? Plus, I'm sure there are 1 foot fetish people, but I'm going to bet they're mostly going to want to see ladies, or at least better looking and more fit men than me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that the fetish people are wanting to see me. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's move on to something else. So, if some of you might have noticed on our channel, I've been tracking our household's net worth pretty closely lately. Now, I'm no longer giving exact totals on the channel. It was driving my wife crazy. She thinks that's too much information to be out there. And it was causing commenters to credit any positive change to my paid-off house going up in value, or any bad months because I live in a bad neighborhood, my house is going down in value, or saying, well, of course it's going down in value because of all those cars that are depreciating, when in reality all of our cars are fully depreciated. The newest one is 10 years old, and none of them are worth more than $3,000. Well, I think my truck's worth a little more than $3,000, but only barely. So anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and document monthly changes in the overall account balances, and I'm going to ignore the home and cars completely, because when the car blows up, just going to buy another one anyway. And when it comes time to upgrade houses, it doesn't really matter much whether mine went up or down, because I'm just going to doesn't matter how the market went, because I'm just going to add a certain amount of money to that, which is going to upgrade me whether the market's down or up. In the month of November, we had an overall increase of $2,452. This is making an overall increase of $32,459 since I started tracking this 5 months ago. Now, we're making these massive strides on a fairly limited income for a couple of reasons. One, everything we own is paid for. We did not really increase our lifestyle very much when I became a full-time reseller and quadrupled my previous income, which granted, at the time it was a part-time job at the card shop. I only worked there because they let me work my daughter's exact school schedule. Circumstance had stuck me into stay-at-home dad mode for years, and my daughter still wasn't old enough to come home to an empty house yet, so I was working my way back into the workforce that way. But this allows us to plow huge amounts of our income into various retirement accounts, which also reduces our taxable income greatly, keeping us in a much lower tax bracket. Yeah, I know how tax brackets actually work, so you don't need to say that in the comments. But putting money into 401k, IRA, HSA, and we're also now plowing some into account that's goal is to save up $100,000 so we can upgrade to a better house someday. Now, my original plan on that was to buy the new house the minute I was old enough to pull from one of my IRAs, but I did all the math and I figured out tax-wise, it's much better just to save it up instead and not suddenly have a year where we made $175,000 and, you know, paid taxes on that $100,000 at a top bracket rather than right now, which would be paying it at the very smallest bracket. So, anyway, hey, wanted to take a moment to congratulate Carrie, American Arbitrage, and Dawn, Lady Arbitrage, on their recent wedding. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they took Dave on their honeymoon, but that's between the three of them, and it's not my place to judge. Now let's look at my top most interesting sales for the month of November. Okay, these are going to go in no particular order. They're just the order they popped up when I took them, when I loaded them all up on the screen. Got a 1970s Sears carousel kitchen. I found this at the bins. I repaired the lights on it, and it sold about a week for $69.87. I don't remember if I actually bought this by weight or if they put a price on it. Either way, sold quickly. I had less than an hour into it, even with repairing the lights. Totally worth it. Next, CD binder with 100 plus discs, mostly 90s rock, rap, or pop. This binder did smell like somebody was smoking some serious doobies around it, but I was very clear about that in the description, that I'm really selling the discs, and you can throw the binder, expect to throw the binder away. I paid $3 for this at the bins, and it sold in 2 weeks for $59.87. And it's already been delivered, and there's no claim on it, so the smell thing was fine. Another bin's fine. Rydell roller derby skates. Can tell they're derby skates for, well, one because of the model, and second because there's no brakes on them. These sold $53.87. However, a buyer did string me along with many messages about these before they finally purchased. Next up, another bin's find. An Extreme Sound, that's definitely an off-brand, 10-disc changer, in-box, new old stock from the 90s, with an FM modulator. That means you can turn on the radio and hear the CD changer. $49.87, I believe I paid $3 for it. At one point I was considering putting it in my mini truck, but I don't even have any CDs, so what would I use it for? I wouldn't. Next, kind of a medical thing. iWalk 3 hands-free crutch, sold for $60. This was purchased on a local pickup, so I didn't even have to try to box that nightmare of a thing. It does squish down a little smaller, but it's still really big if you have to box it. Another bin's find. So weighs about 3 pounds, so I probably had $6 into it. 100 lot of mini brands. Mini brands were a big thing when my daughter was about 6 years old. She always was asking for mini brands for every birthday, holiday, Christmas, every present, and then of course she eventually grew out of them. These were hers. This lot sold for $50 at a massive, massive loss as to what we paid for that stuff. Next up, this is an Apple II game, Wizardry, second scenario, Knight of Diamonds. This took an extremely long time to sell, like 2 years, despite the fact that I started off as the best priced on eBay. See, having the best price still doesn't make the right customer come along. I believe I sold it on an offer of $42. I had basically nothing into it though, because it came from an extremely low dollar bulk buy in which it had paid for itself a long time ago. This is a bins find, so got about $2 into it. Kansas City Sporting Soccer Team, a signed team ball, sold for $45.18. I find a lot of autograph stuff at the Goodwill outlet. It's crazy what people throw away. All right. An estate sale junk drawer lot, or what I call a BS box. This is where I take everything not ready for prime time, or stuff that came out of my store because it wouldn't sell or whatever, and I try to theme it up, put it into one big lot, take a couple of photos of it all, slap it into a box, and sell it for one price. This lot sold for $32.87, which is probably much more than I would have cleared trying to live sell this crap, and it took much less time to do so. I have one customer who buys a lot of these boxes from me because they are full of interesting things. Okay, this is a Victor Cardex leather flat file postcard index. This is filled with bank safety deposit log boxes, sheets, but never been used. This came from the bins. I think it weighs just at 1 pound, so $2.09. And it sold in about a week, $39.87. Another bins find, a Tomy water game, the Wonderful Waterfalls. Sold for $38.87 in a matter of days. This weighs ounces, so I had about $1 into it. This is one I got from Fox Hunter a very long time ago. So long ago that I actually at one point had just bought him out of what he had still with me. I've done that several times with Fox Hunter because he'll end up coming by because he wants some money and nothing of his sold, and I'll just look at all the stuff of his I still got, and I'm like, oh, I'll buy you out whatever I got left. I'll buy you out for this much, and he'll usually say yes. So sold for $250.98. I've had that since like almost last Christmas, so it went through a lot of markdowns. Here's some miniatures. Warhammer Lord of the Rings, 10 Orc Riders, and a leader. They're metal. They were painted by a professional. Sold for $243. I did start these out at $299 for the lot. I don't remember if I ever actually got to use them or not. I was kind of holding on to them because I wanted to use them. Here's a bins find. McDonald's drive-through kitchen play set. I found first the top half at the bins, just this part. Then me and one of my buddies who was with me, we went back in to film some shorts and to look around for, round two, because a lot of stuff, as the line finally peters out, a lot of times people will have thrown back perfectly good stuff. And we found the rest of the thing in the middle of the floor. I made a couple of repairs to it. I created a new door out of yellow plastic card file that I happen to have on stock to replace a missing door, and sold it pretty quickly, $109.87. It was not actually difficult to ship because this breaks down actually incredibly small. I did probably put 2 hours into it though, but 2 very worthwhile hours. Warhammer Beasts of Chaos Start Collecting, $121.49. I got this from a game store flea market day vendor. I always buy a lot of stuff from him at the same time. I don't know what I had into it, but it was definitely a big profit. This was a consignment item from a friend, and it's an easy sell. It's Magic the Gathering Mystery Boosters, sold for $99.87. I'm going to pay him out $60 on that because it's an easy sell consignment item. There's no work to this. It takes me 2 minutes to process this item. Probably spent more time talking about it right now than it did to even list, ship, and sell it. Another bin find. Found a big bag full of rock climbing gear at the bins. They charged me $3 or $5 for it. I think I started it at $150. It was seeing massive amounts of watchers. I sent out massive amounts of offers, but nobody was buying. But I knew there was a lot of interest, so I dropped the price on it pretty quickly and aggressively. And within a month, got $88 for it, which was fine for me. Another bins find, a Leathercraft 75 pocket tool backpack. This is has layers and layers of pockets here that have individual little pockets inside. This backpack is so heavy that they actually did put a $3 let me buy it for $3 at the bins as a heavy item instead of by its weight, because this thing weighs like 8 pounds empty. And took about a month, 88 bucks. This is a Kinesis triple pedal add-on for Advantage keyboards. I have no idea what that is, but I spotted this thing at the bins and I was like, that looks interesting. And I looked it up and I said, oh, it not only looks interesting, it's also valuable. Sold in about a month, $79.99. I can tell it didn't even get a markdown because of the even price it has. And the last one, which may have been the best sale for the month, Small World Rhythm Blimp City Motion Dancing Clock. This little part here, this wiggle. Oh, it's got a video. Oh, but you're not going to hear the sound of the video. But see, it dances and moves around and everything else. I got this. I mean, I got it fairly early at the bins, about 20 minutes after open, but at least it was right on top, and at least 100 people had passed this by already. But I'm the one who bought it, and that's why I'm the one who made the money off of it. That's all I got for today. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.
Forgive me, I don't know his actual name, but his YouTube name is onefootflipper.
Hey, now that it's just us, do you think I should have taken the Pokemon guy up on his offer to make the special website? Let me know in the comments.